Good afternoon and good morning. It's your boy Iron Slips here on a new YouTube channel, a new channel for y'all guys, a new show for y'all guys, new episode on 5/24. We've recently seen a lot of this NBA outcomes, these MLB outcomes, and we have a lot to say. A lot of teams are actually upcoming and they're playing pretty good. We got the Dodgers playing pretty tough. We got the Mets who've been a little bit struggling with Soto. We got the Yankees on that win streak yesterday being cut off by the Rockies. So we had an unexpected kind of a couple of games, but we still have the Phillies raise their win streak. We have an immaculate scoring run from the Red Sox as they scored 19 runs on these Orioles who are struggling, and they got a doubleheader today. So as far as MLB, we're still being expected to get those teams balling and doing what they got to do and catching that ball in that outfield. As far as the NBA, though, we are going through it a little bit with New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers and the OKC Thunder with the Minnesota Timberwolves. These two series are a little, they shouldn't be tricky at all. But there is a lot of things that are being said in this series about whether it should just be OKC and Indiana. Now, I still believe that the New York Knicks could just find a way into this hole and get out of this in a Game 6 or Game 7 situation. I do believe that it can still be the Knicks up against the Timberwolves. So that's what's in my mind. I still believe the Timberwolves can face Karl-Anthony Towns, his former team. Randall can face his former team. And we could get what we want on national television. But the OKC Thunder are just way too powerful, man. They've been running down that court a little bit more than the Indiana Pacers. They're a running team. They're a track team. That team, if they were in college, if it was an NCAA team and they were called the Mexican Lobos, the Los Mexico Lobos. If that was Los Mexico Lobos, they will be a pretty good team. They'll be able to compete. If that was Kentucky, they'll be able to compete. If that was Shy's Kentucky team, they'll be able to compete with Kansas City. They'll be able to compare themselves to Duke. They'll be able to be a Final Four team because this team is just, it's filled with energy and it's filled with its right players to shoot. Got to give a lot of props to Shy, man. I mean, a lot of people are falling under the way of him playing and they're not really liking it. They're not really, convinced that he's playing basketball, more getting fouls and whatnot. But all these historic players that are good at ball, man, they all did it, man. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Durant, Westbrook, they've all done it when going to the line. Harden, these players, they know how to get fouls. They know how to get and ones because that's just what they do. They know how to find the contact. So these players, they know how to get these wins. We're going to go ahead and move over to what we predict about this new series, though, about these new games coming up in this new turf, because the OKC Thunder will be having a fly out. They're probably already there, hopefully practicing and whatnot. But they definitely flied out to the Minnesota Timberwolves home, and they will be in Minnesota tonight, as that game will be kicking off a little bit later than 7. It'll be about 8 at night, kicking off against the Thunder. I do believe the Timberwolves, they put up a fight tonight. We are expecting the Timberwolves to win these 2 games at home, so be able to have, a 2-2 series, bring it back to OKC, kind of like a Game 7 scenario going on in this series. But the Thunder, man, 68-14 as a full record, 32-8 away. This team is balling. We have Shai Alexander giving you 32.8 points per game, and he's not looking back at that. He's not thinking about, hey, man, let me have like a 22 or 25.9. No, he's hitting that 30, and they're getting that dub. So, I mean, it's like the OKC Thunder at this point could just call themselves the NBA champions, but you don't want to worry about something that's in a couple of weeks. Worry about the present and get it done first. Exactly how a couple of NBA players have said before, hey, man, I got to get what's done now, not worry about what's coming in just, the upcoming week. Get done what's today, then we worry about tomorrow. This Thunder and Timberwolves team, they're both good. Thunder and Timberwolves, they're both good. They match up perfectly, but somehow, some way, man, the Thunder, if you just look at it and you just lay back and you watch it on TV, Thunder are just that team. I would ride with a Timberwolves spread here at a +8 again. Trying to have the Timberwolves in that range of +8.5 and not at losing by more than 10. Keeping this game competitive. Keeping this a national television game where we could just lay back and eat some popcorn and enjoy these games. And enjoy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards, man. That's what we want to watch. We want to watch these two all-stars go at it head-to-head, bumping heads. And so far they are, but it's these other players around them that somehow they're just missing out. We had a blowout by the Thunder, pretty much a blowout. Not a big one, but it's pretty much a blowout. With Randall giving you 30, almost 30. And then you have the next game, damn near a little blowout as well. But Randall gives you less than 10, less than 12 points. So it should go to tell you that the OKC Thunder are just outpacing this team. And that may give you the result to this series. Moving on over to the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers game. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. We'll be posting a video tomorrow morning as well. We'll be able to give a prediction about that game. For right now, we are sticking on the New York side. We do believe that maybe New York on the road, being 5-1, can go ahead and get past this Indiana Pacers. Maybe on game 4, Indiana leads them off to a 3-1 series, but it's still going back to New York, baby. So regardless, New York still may have a chance here and may able to have a potential run at a Game 6, Game 7 outcome situation and get to the NBA Finals. I'm not saying I don't want to watch Indiana in the NBA Finals. I definitely want to watch the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. I do believe that Tyrese Halliburton and I do believe that all these other players, they perhaps could outweigh these other players and get it done. Get it done. It's not something that, you know, they're going to be afraid of doing or something that's not a possibility. Just get it done. I believe that going into this 2-0 right now, you just have to win one game. You have to win one game. Even if it's game 4, even if now you go to 3-0, at least go back to New York with a dub. So you can go back into here and just focus on bringing it right back into New York City for a Game 7. Because it's the only way to get past this Indiana Pacers. This is a tough team. And if I were to actually think about any team who fully deserves it in the East side, it would have to be the Indiana Pacers, man. They're a hard-working team. Their turnover ratio sometimes is pretty low compared to higher than the Knicks. So it turns out to be like the Indiana Pacers kind of deserve where they're going to. You know what I mean? So it's like the Indiana Pacers, man. If you're going to do it, just do it. If you're going to go into the NBA Finals and kind of just finish out Shai, if Halliburton is going to finish out Shai and Dort and Toppin and these guys and Siakam are going at it head-to-head, bumping heads, getting shots, getting fouls, doing what they got to do, I really want to watch the comparison of having to work with Turner and having to bring Turner down there with Siakam and all the other help that they have and bringing it in with Chet Holmgren and Hardenstein. I really want to see how that works out together. And I do still believe that the Indiana Pacers on the East side can have a potential run into winning this championship if it's not the Knicks. Going on over here, thinking that, you know, you're going to come into the Indiana Pacers and, you know, not do a lot. That's not the way the Knicks are going to run into this one. I do believe the Knicks are going to come into this game thinking that they're going to get it. Don't know if they're not, because the Indiana Pacers are definitely riding into this game thinking, hey, man, we have a sweep potential. We could sweep the New York Knicks and go to the NBA Finals with just 4 games. We did it the quickest way possible. Indiana Pacers, man, they're a tough team. And if you've been watching NBA this regular season, you know that the Indiana Pacers are that one team that if you had a bet on, or if you had a bet on them, or if you betted against them, you are still sitting down there thinking this Indiana Pacers team is going to come back and they're going to put a fourth quarter run. That's the NBA for y'all. We're going to go ahead and go to MLB. MLB has a couple of games today. A couple of games today that are going to be pretty good. Couple of competitive games. Yesterday we had a rivalry of the Dodgers and Mets game. We had a playoff rivalry as well. That was a playoff rivalry. Let's not confuse that. That's not just a regular season rivalry. That's a playoff rivalry. Dodgers and Mets. Historic, legendary. Game ended 7-5 Dodgers. Today we're going to have a little bit of a pitching from Ohtani. So don't know if you want to go ahead and mess around with the Mets there, as they can all be strikes out from Shohei Ohtani. And if they're all strikes out from Shohei Ohtani, you're going to stand there, you're going to look at, damn, Shohei Ohtani should be a pitcher for the rest of his life, right? Well, that's going to be an entertaining game for us. If you want to ride on a spread or ride on a money line, I'll still be taking the Mets, and I'll still be taking the Dodgers on a +1.5, as these games tend to be a little bit closer, and you could probably get cashed out on both sides. As far as some NFL predictions today, though, we're going to go ahead and ride with the Orioles and Red Sox at 1 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and ride with Dobbins. Dobbins to get past Eflin. So this is the first game of a doubleheader. I do believe that the Red Sox could get past the first game, kind of just heat up from that 19 to low run that they had and kind of just keep up that heat. And then maybe step off the mound a little bit when they have Giolito. And who knows, realistically, they could sweep this whole Orioles team. But I'll just be riding with this first one on a sunny afternoon at 1 o'clock. Red Sox with a 26-26 record, and I'm believing that they get their win before their loss, if you know what I mean. So in this case, they're 26-26. If they win, they instantly go over that 500 range, 27-26, and then maybe lose that other one, go back to 27. So with the Red Sox, I'm trying to have them be at the lead of their wins and not trying to chase their losses and trying to, just be even again. I want the Red Sox to be positive with their wins, depending on who they're competing on, obviously. But here with the Orioles, I do believe that the Red Sox could go back to positive with a 27-26 record, and maybe in the afternoon go right back down to a 27-27 record. But as far as you think about it, if you look at it, like I said, the Red Sox could use this opportunity. This is an advantage for the Red Sox. Use this opportunity with the Orioles to be able to have more positive games here and hopefully go to 28-26 and just stay well over that 450 range. Be an even team, a little bit more than even. Going on to game 2, Royals and Twins. They'll be having Wacha up against Matthews. Wacha is good. Okay, I do believe that Wacha is a pretty good pitcher. You got Matthews as well. Listen, these two pitchers, they could go right back at it to the mound. Observe Matthews with a 12 ERA, a little bit high of an ERA compared to a lot of, teams. So those type of things kind of just, they make you think and they say, hey, man, this team may not be on the same potential that other teams possibly are. So I do expect the Twins to maybe take a loss today, as the Kansas City Royals recently lost already to them 1-3. So bounce back game for the Royals here, as they are underdog. And I do believe that the Royals with Wacha should be able to do their job with an ERA of Z Matthews of 12. So take the Royals on the money line tonight at a +120. Or not tonight, at 2 in the afternoon, really. I don't know where you guys are at, but you could be in a place right now where you could be following these morning games, and it could be night where you're at. But take the Kansas City Royals on the money line versus the Minnesota Twins. I'll also be taking the Red Sox over the Orioles on that first game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. First game, game 1, not game 2. Game 1, taking Red Sox. Right here on the slate, we have the Diamondbacks against the Cardinals. Going over the whole schedule today, if it's not a problem to you guys, makes it easier for you guys so you guys can see all the opinions that we have on the MLB for today's slate. Diamondbacks and Cardinals. Kelly, man, he's a pretty good pitcher. I've seen him pitch on the mound before on the Diamondbacks. He's a pretty good pitcher. They are expected to lose tonight. Last night, the Cardinals did lose a tough one, 4-3. It could be a bounce back game for them. They are on a 3-game losing streak. Or I'm sorry, the Diamondbacks are on a 3-game losing streak. They just lost last night against the Cardinals 4-3. So Cardinals just came back of a 2-game losing streak. So the Cardinals are kind of like on a little hump right now where they go lose, win, lose 2, win, lose. So they could lose tonight as well and go right back into that little rhythm that they're having. So I do expect the Diamondbacks to bounce back tonight. But if you want to go ahead and play that game on the over on the runs or keep it minimal, watch how maybe Kelly is pitching in the first inning, second inning, and third. That'll be a very good idea for the Diamondbacks, as the Diamondbacks are that one team. You want to see how they're playing in the whole game. And then you want to take them if it's going to be chosen on a prediction. Moving on over to the Brewers and the Pirates. The Brewers should be able to brew up the Pirates each time. But Keller with a 1-6 record, but do not let that doubt you. Keller is a very, very good pitcher. I believe the Pirates today can maybe have something for the Brewers there to brew up and can maybe win this game. Giants and Nationals, moving on over Harrison and Irvin. These are really two good pitchers. Harrison with his debut on a 0-0 record. I do believe the Giants come back strong here today against the Nationals as well and take care of this job. Cubs and Reds, we're going with Rhea and Abel. Abel is a very, very good pitcher as well. 180 ERA. I'll be riding with the Cubs here, as the Reds yesterday were able to beat them in that first couple of innings, but then the Cubs they proved to you once again who they are and what they could do in late times innings. Padres and Braves, I'll be riding with King today. I got to get back with King. King has been a little negative to me. Those 4-2 record that he had, there's been games where he's been letting off some type of homers, and I've had to cash out and lose with the Padres. So the King just sometimes just doesn't really give to his full expectation. But my hopes are high today on a Saturday for King against Holmes, and I'm hoping that Holmes comes out with the L today and King comes out with the royalty dub, getting it for the Padres. Mariners and Astros, I'll be riding with Valdez today. Valdez is another player that he gives you those little stuck-up games. And, you know, woo yesterday with the Mariners. The Mariners yesterday, they showed the Astros, we're still here to compete with you guys, okay? You guys got us with McCullers, but we're still here to compete with you guys. And I do believe that this is like a playoff rivalry. So I do believe that the Mariners and the Astros tonight, they do go back and forth at it. But on this side, we support Houston, and I'm supporting the Astros and their spaceships. So we're moving on forward with the Astros on the money line. They're pick 'em right now. So we're riding with Astros versus Mariners at 4 o'clock here. That's an early game as well. Rangers and White Sox, we already know who should take care of business there, as Texas should be able to get this job done. You know what I mean? It's not something that, you know, the Rangers shouldn't have to be struggling with the White Sox. You know, it's not something in that matter. The Rangers could be losing this game 3-0, but then the Rangers should find their way back up. You know, they have a good roster with Adolis Garcia. Pitching tonight will be Later against Cano. Later is a very good pitcher, as he can let off a couple of balls in there in that mound. But Cano, keep an eye on Cano. The White Sox, when they have Cano, they try to always they try to power up and they try to get a couple dubs for Cano. So the White Sox today could leave with a win against the Rangers. Keep that in mind. The Yankees and the Rockies will be riding deep with the Yankees today, as the Rockies, man, hey, we'll be moving with the Yankees today, as yesterday the Rockies were able to stun the Yankees and give them an L late into the game. 3-2 win for the Rockies. So we do believe that the Yankees today could maybe get a 5-0 sweeper and get this game done against the Rockies, baby. Come on, let's get back game. Get back on a Saturday for the New York Yankees. So I do believe that they could possibly get this win and just, you know, enter Sunday again on a win streak. So we're riding Yankees on the money line against the Rockies in a fanuable game right here, with all the fans going crazy. There's a lot of fans in Colorado with the Yankees jerseys, so they do expect the Yankees to also win. But the Rockies, man, yesterday wearing their Fire City jersey, purple, orange, and they were able to get it done for the fans, and they did it. Moving on over to the Game 2 second header. Like I said, Game 2 second header, double header, whatever you want to call it. Orioles versus Red Sox. Like I said, I do believe that this game you should watch over. Giolito is not your average pitcher, but the Red Sox, in order for them to keep being positive, this will be a very, very good opportunity for them to beat the Orioles and just beat them in every game and get your record up over 500. Blue Jays against Rays, it's always a classic to watch. We believe that the Rays are always stronger enough to be able to withstand the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays were on a win streak before this loss against the Rays last night. Barrios is not your average pitcher to always be holding up against, but he's a very, very, very good pitcher. Baz is also a very, very good pitcher, but I do believe the Blue Jays bounce back against the Rays tonight and not let them yesterday give them an explanation for who and how those teams are as a summary. Guardians versus Tigers, Mize against Ortiz. This would also be a classic late night game to watch. Ortiz is a very, very classic player, man. He's a very classic player from the Dominican Republic. Very, very good as well. Tries to get powered up from the crowd. They're not playing at home today, so I don't know if they'll have that much of a high crowd going with Cleveland. But hey, man, if you want to have a tough player to get some money with, it'll be Ortiz, at an underdog position tonight. Guardians versus Tigers. That's a good one right there. You got mines. Looking at the outcome from last night, though, you do have an outcome from last night where the Tigers were able to get them 3-1. So, or lose 3-1 rather. The Guardians were able to win 3-1. The Guardians are on a 3-game win streak. So, believe the Tigers to bounce back tonight and improve their home record from 17-7 to 18-7. And I do believe that the Tigers tonight, they could possibly get it done for the people. And I do believe the Tigers tonight on the money line be able to hop on them. Cleveland Guardians, Tigers, money line. A little late game. Moving on forward from that one, we have Dodgers versus Mets. I do believe that the Mets bounce back tonight against the Dodgers. But the Dodgers, man, they show you who they are a couple of times, and they do get those wins. They are underdog tonight if you want to take the champs tonight with Gonzalez. Fun fact from the Dodgers and Mets game today, they will be putting Ohtani to pitch at a couple of players, so I don't really want to mess with that. I don't know if Ohtani is going to come and get 12 Ks, 8 Ks, 5 Ks, 4 Ks, and sweep out the mound for the Mets in New York. So maybe Ohtani still has a little bit of, fire hazards from that New York game that they had against the Yankees, and maybe in his mind he's like, hey, man, I'm going to get this, and I don't want to see Ohtani go back to the bullpen looking at his name and it says 4 Ks and you're on the Mets side. Ohtani's a very good player, man. I kind of want to see what he has in his hand to pitch. I've never personally seen him pitching in a game, so I am going to witness this for the first time in my life, and this is going to be a historic game for him. The Dodgers on the money line on an underdog position, man. They're there. If you want to take the champs at an underdog, you can. This is going to be a classic game to watch tonight, as the first pitcher will be Gonzalez against Peterson, but Ohtani will be out there tonight pitching on a couple players as soon as there is a substitution. Phillies and Athletics, we're riding with the money line right here with the Phillies, trying to go with that win streak to improve. We do believe that the Athletics today maybe could show them that we could score on you guys, okay? The Athletics are not a bad team. They're 22-30, but overall they could score. They're going to have Sanchez tonight, which is an immaculate pitcher. Very good pitcher. Springs, 3.91 ERA, also a very good pitcher, so he could strike out a couple Phillies in the beginning. So hold off on that, but I do believe the Phillies run off on this game and finish this game fully off, improving their win streak and getting it more higher. Marlins and Angels, you got Quantrill against Soriano. Quantrill is a very, very impressive pitcher. He's getting better in the mound, 6.37 ERA. I do believe Quantrill tonight comes in a little tougher than he came in the last couple of games for the Marlins. But Soriano, he's the expected one to get this game for the Angels. I do expect the Angels again to come back, bounce back against the Marlins and get this win. But if you want to stick on the Florida South Beach side, you got the Marlins at an underdog position, and you could trust maybe Quantrill to get a walk-off against the Angels and maybe pitch out the bottom of the ninth, and maybe the Marlins could get this win against the Angels today. If you want to get some plus money, you can get Phillies and Marlins late night couple of games. You got those games at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. So those games right there are pretty much the ones to, if you want to roll with late slate, you could roll Phillies Marlins, or maybe roll Phillies Marlins at a plus 1.5. But I will personally take, if you want to take a smart play, you can maybe take the Phillies and the Angels, as those are the ones that are outweighed mostly to win. Both of them have the same odds, but both of them do have two good pitchers out there, and Sanchez for the Phillies and Soriano for the Angels. Tonight shouldn't be that tough for you guys. Should be able to pick them and be able to get this money and be able to get a good rollout in the MLB. Watch a couple of players, maybe send them out. Maybe Ohtani could send out a couple homers. Maybe Judge can get another homer on that mound and keep adding up to his number. Duran for the Red Sox can maybe get a couple homers. Naylor for the Diamondbacks can maybe get a couple homers. Bobby Witt for the Royals can maybe get a couple homers. So this could be a Saturday homer derby for y'all guys. And just follow the names that I'm saying. These teams that we're talking about, we're not going to give you guys no false games or false teams that could possibly win. We're never going to give you guys an expectation of a team that has no possibility in winning or no firepower in winning. We're going to give you guys the reality of it. And if at the end of the day, those teams don't want to end out with the win, there's still a better day or a better game for us to, give our strong prediction for. Moving on forward with that, guys, if you guys like the sports and teams that we talk about, follow us on the Twitter. Most of our picks do get jumped off there as well. So we're able to give you guys maybe some soccer, some MLB, some tennis lately with Novak Djokovic, I'm sorry. Novak Djokovic in the finals. He can most probably get this championship as he's chasing his ATP, his 100th ATP, and we'll be riding on that side as well. He'll be facing Hurkacz tonight, which is a very good Polish tennis male player. The reason why I said male is because there's also a legendary female Polish player in Swiatek, that I think that's her name, and she's very good as well. Sometimes she does not get those ATPs that she needs to get, but she's a very, very good tennis player as well. So Djokovic will be having to face that country, Poland. They'll be having to face Hurkacz, which is also a very, very good tennis player. He's not a bad tennis player. Maybe he could get one set on Djokovic, or Djokovic could just 2-0 him, how he's been kind of doing in this event, and get that ATP 100. We'll also be riding with that Djokovic pick with the tennis. So if you guys want to ride with that, maybe do something with a couple of plays with the Yankees, or maybe something with the Royals, maybe something with the Diamondbacks. You have those options as well. Tonight also on soccer, we have a couple of soccer games as well. We have Liverpool playing with the Crystal Palace on that schedule. And then we also have the Real Madrid going up against the Real Sociedad. And we do believe that Mbappe tonight, man, I've always said it. Mbappe is the type of player that he should be able to have a score in like every game. Mbappe is not a bad soccer player. He should be able to always show up for France and always show up for who his skill is. And his skill is scoring. So he should be able to always do that, especially for the Madrid squad, and get those things done for the teams, man. You know, these teams, these are expensive teams that at the end of the day, they should be able to get the job done for their teams. If you want to follow our picks at Twitter, we are posting them there at the Earn Slips TV. You can follow those picks anytime that you want. We'll be posting new updates there, new choices, and new, you know, picks for you guys to be able to be like, hey, I really do believe that maybe this pick is a 1 unit pick. Maybe I could go with a 0.5 pick. You know, the ones that are less trusted to you guys, maybe you guys could lay off that ones and go on the high trusted ones. If you guys do believe that our picks and our choices and the sports that we're talking about are entertaining to you guys, give us a click, give us a subscribe there on our YouTube at Earn Slips TV, or follow us on over at the Twitter side at Earn Slips TV, where you'll be able to get a lot of our picks and a lot of our choices for every slate throughout the weekend. With all of that being said, man, God bless y'all, man, and let's get these sports going, man. Let's go.